Have you ever heard of the Michael Gaine case? It is one of the strangest missing persons cases from Ireland, and it is one of those cases that has never really been solved. Michael Gaine was a 60-year-old farmer from County Offaly, Ireland. He was a well-liked man, very well known in the community. He lived on a farm outside the village of Clara, close to the banks of the River Brosna. According to the Irish Independent, Michael's hat was later found soaked in a ditch close to a wooden fence, but when the sun began to rise and the storm had passed, some people spoke of a local legend, a story of how sometimes a mysterious light appears in the field just before someone vanishes without a trace. The Irish Independent reports that just 2 weeks before he disappeared. But I love a good mystery, and this is one that will keep me up at night. What do you think happened to Michael? Let me know in the comments below. Michael had received a number of strange phone calls, and someone had spoken of a possible link between the two. They noticed that Michael was nowhere to be seen, presumed dead on the Crime and Investigation Network in 2014. And according to the host of the show, the investigation is still open. Every time we think we have, there is a new twist. You never come to terms with it. You just learn to live with it. You have good days and bad days. You have days when you're up and you have days when you're down. But the sad reality is that after over 25 years, Michael's family still have no answers. So they raised the alarm. I would love to have you here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. The locals began to search the area, and that S when they found Michael S. hat in the ditch. The search then expanded. But after 3 days, there was still no sign of Michael. The Garda, that's the Irish police, were called in, and they began to search the surrounding areas, which led the locals to believe that he may have been taken from his home, while his boots were still on the porch of his house, as if he had stepped out barefoot into the cold, rainy night and never come back. Some people believed that Michael had been the victim of foul play, perhaps someone who had a grudge against him or was trying to take his land. In 2014, the Irish Mirror reported that Michael had actually been involved in a number of land disputes prior to his disappearance. A neighbor told the Irish Mirror he was a kind and gentle man and would not hurt a fly. Whoever did this to him must have known him, because he would have been able to defend himself. But Michael's brother, John, insisted that Michael had no enemies and that he believed his brother had simply gotten lost on his land. John said, "We don't believe any harm came to him. We think he slipped and fell into the river and drowned." And according to the people who knew him, he was a simple man who lived a simple life. That made his disappearance all the more shocking. On the night of March 3rd, 1998, Michael went out to check on his barn. There had been a storm that night, and he was concerned that some of the panels might have come loose. This was around 11 p.m. And at this point, the storm was at its worst. There were strong winds and heavy rain. Michael put on his waterproof jacket and his hat, and he went out to check on his barn. But he never came back. What makes this case so strange is that Michael seemingly vanished into thin air. Now, the people who lived close to Michael's farm later told the police that they had heard his dogs barking frantically throughout the night. Theories started to emerge. But there are other theories. The case was featured on an episode of Missing. In an interview with the Irish Mirror, John said, Did Michael Gaine vanish on a stormy night all those years ago? Or did something more sinister happen to him? I don't know about you. Before you go, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel. It's very hard to come to terms with. No trace of him had ever been found. They didn't even find footprints in the muddy ground.